came from?
So, well, that's a funny story because it was hard for me to figure out, okay, like, what is my, what do I want to be known as? What do I want to go by? Mm-hmm. So, I feel like Lina Rain just came kind of, I don't know, it just came naturally to me. Just one day I was in the car, I was with my family, my sister, my cousins, and I was like, I don't know what would bring, because, I like my name, but I felt like it was too long. Like, it was just too long. I was like, nah, this is not it. So Lina Rain came about because Lina kind of just came because my first name's Alina. So Lina just came from that. So I go by that. But Rain was more like, okay, it has a little bit of power to it. Because rain, I don't mean rain like raindrops. It means reign like a queen. So instead of R-A-I-N, it's R-E-I-G-N. I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, so that's where that came about. So Rain is like a queen. So for me, I was like, okay, that's perfect. Like, this is nice. I like this. It has a little thing to it. So
okay, so how was your childhood growing up?
I would say I had a pretty good childhood. A very musical childhood, actually, because it's the craziest thing. My whole family sings. I know, it's really weird. Like, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, we all could sing. And then my brother could play instruments, and we're just all over the place with it. But growing up, I started out in church. So I grew up in church until I was about 12, until my parents divorced. And so that's how I started singing. It was through church is where I started to really sing and learn how to.
So you was a part of the choir?
Yeah. When I was 5, that's when I started.
That was a young age.
I know.
How did you feel?
I don't know. I feel like when I was little, when you're little, your nerves are they're not there. It's almost like you're free to do whatever you want as a kid. Yeah, like you're not thinking about anything. Everything's so natural, and I loved singing. It was something that was always in me growing up. So I knew that's what I wanted to do.
So from 5 to your age now, when did you decide to take this music thing serious?
Definitely around the age of 18. So when I graduated high school, it wasn't in the plans to, okay, I'm going to be an artist. That wasn't how it came about. It was more like I've always written music. Since 4th grade, I was writing music. And so after high school, I decided, okay, I'm just going to go study to be an ultrasound tech. Because, that's what every family wants you to do. Your parents, they want you to go to school to be a lawyer, doctor, something in a field where it's like nothing to do with the arts. Most parents. But I love singing, so I was in school for about a year and a half studying to be an ultrasound tech, and I stopped. I was like, I just wasn't happy, I wasn't feeling it, and I eventually was like, okay, I'm gonna do music. I'm just gonna do it. And there is where I connected with my producer. His name's Justin Wiggins, and I met him in high school. We were first friends before anything, and I didn't even know he was into music until I graduated. And I started doing little things here, releasing a song on SoundCloud and stuff. And he reached out to me and he's like, hey, let's do some music. Let's do this. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then from then on, it just started out. That's where it started.
So you were in school, were you happy? You was not happy being in school?
It wasn't like I was miserable, but it was dragging. Almost okay, I'm doing this just to do it. It was no passion behind that. Yeah. So it wasn't what I loved. So of course I felt like I wasn't filled up. There was something missing. And so I felt like, I have to put my 100% toward something that I'm passionate about. So I was like, screw this, I'm going to go sing. I'm going to go do what I like.
Can you think back to the first song you ever wrote?
Yeah. So it's a funny story. The first song I ever wrote was a rap. I don't know why, I have no idea, but I remember vividly, I swear I remember, I don't remember all the words, but it was a funny rap that I wrote in 4th grade. That was the first actual song that I ever wrote. It was a rap. And then after that, I wrote another song about my friends, about being friends, because when you're in 4th grade, you're not really thinking about a guy, so, and then from then on is when I started to just dabble and write. But the first song was a rap. It was pretty funny.
How do you get your inspiration?
Right. Well, definitely when I write, I feel like I try to write from anything that's real and raw. So it's almost like you have to be inspired to write. And so I feel like when I first started writing, it used to just come. I didn't really think about it. It would just come to me. Like, I don't know how, I just would start writing. It would just come. But then as I started growing up and actually going through real experiences, that kind of fueled the writing a little bit more. So it was like my first heartbreak when I was like 16. That's when I wrote an actual good song. Like, that was structured. And that one came about like really from the heartbreak. And that's when I realized that the best songs come from heartbreak.
So like you say you got heartbroken, like how was it? Like how did you feel? Because people go through it. Not a lot of people been through a heartbreak. We don't really know how it feels, and like we all go through different stages and ways when we go through heartbreak. Like how was yours?
Well, that one was a long time ago because I was in high school and I was little, and you know when you're young, it's like a puppy love. You don't really know what real love is in high school.
True.
It's just an infatuation between two people, to me at least. That's how I feel about it. So that heartbreak, of course, it's like the most devastating one. Like, the first one is like, you think the world is ending, you don't want to go to school, you're like, screw life. But the one that hit me the most was the one that I recently went through. And that's the one that my EP is about. So that one was a little bit more intricate and a little bit more painful.
Like, do you still talk to the person to this day, or like you guys don't talk at all?
No, not really. I feel like if there's nothing to be said, after a situation, I feel like there's nothing to be said because it's you're done. It's ending. It's the end of something, and if you keep on kind of like going back and forth, eventually you're gonna see that person again. You're gonna feel that again, and you have to cut ties.
Like, so what is some advice would you give somebody that's going through a breakup?
Well, personally for me, it wasn't a breakup because me and the person weren't actually together.
Okay.
But we were together in a situation that was toxic. So it's like, okay, we were together, but we weren't together. It was that type of situation. So for anybody that's going through like that situation where you feel like you keep going back to the person who's like toxic for you, I'd say go. You need to leave now. Like, I don't know why you're still there, because people used to tell me all the time, like, girl, you need to stop. You need to stop going back to him. You need to stop. And it was just like I couldn't stop. I felt like I couldn't stop, and then you learn the hard way. And then I had to learn the hard way, and I got my heart broken 1,000 times and over again by the same person. And then it's like, just save yourself that. That's what I would say. Do it the first time you feel that gut feeling telling you that it isn't right. It isn't right, and it's not gonna work. It's just gonna be forced for a while, and it's just gonna bring you down. That's what I'd say.
So do you feel like this heartbreak like changed you in a good way or like a bad way? Like, what did you learn from it?
I would say it changed me in a good way. Because I did learn from it. I think everything in life you learn from. Anything and everything. Even if it's painful, even if it's bad. So like from that one, I learned to actually value myself more. So I wasn't putting myself on the pedestal I was supposed to be on. You know what I mean? Because you accept something from someone because that's how much you value yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it shows. So I learned how to value myself.
So like, what are some artists that inspires you? Like R&B, hip hop, doesn't really matter. Like what?
I would definitely say Christina Aguilera. Love Christina Aguilera.
Wow.
That was like the first one that I ever like got drawn to was her. Like when I was little. So she was the first one. I mean, the music that I used to sing at talent shows was her music only, strictly. I mean, for auditions, for shows. And then eventually I was like, okay, I need to like branch out because I love her, but I need to branch out. And of course, Whitney Houston, big one. Lauryn Hill, Alicia Keys was also a big one.
Yeah.
And so those are a couple of inspirations for sure because they're all soulful. And that's what I want to do. I want to make soulful music.
If you had to pick a genre, what genre would your music fall into? Because there's like alternative R&B, there's R&B, there's soul,
right.
Like soul.
I'd say R&B and soul.
Okay.
That's where that I would fall into.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about some of your music. Your song Risk.
Yes.
What's like the story behind it? What inspired you? Like everything.
Risk, funny story. I keep saying funny story because everything does have a funny story, but Risk came about because
the heartbreak.
It was during the heartbreak that I wrote that.
Okay.
But that song is about happy love.
Okay.
And so, and for me, it's so difficult to write about happy love. Like, it's the most difficult thing to sit there and try to write about happy. Like, oh, like, you make me feel this. Like, it's hard because it's so easy. I'm so used to writing about dark things, like, which is horrible, but I'm just saying. And so, the day that I wrote that song, I came into the studio and my producer was making the beat, but he didn't have the whole beat. He had like a little bit of it, almost like looping, like just the skeleton of it. And I was like, okay, and it just came like the little hook just came to me right there. And then he was like, wait a minute, let me finish this beat so you can write the song. So I'm like, okay. So then he just finished it. We were bouncing back and forth, and then I wrote it like very fast. It was just a happy song at that moment. It just was coming to me. But I did have a little trouble writing almost the whole song because I had to put myself in a happy place, and I wasn't in a happy place. But then I was like, okay, wait, this heartbreak started with a happy place, so let me write how I felt in the beginning. Like, this is the feeling that you have when you're first into somebody. Because I mean, the heartbreak doesn't come from nothing. That heartbreak comes because you love that person and you want to be with them, but something's preventing that from happening. So
okay, next song, Walk Away.
Yes,
that's about
the same heartbreak. Yeah, see, walk away.
Why the title?
Because I wanted him to walk away and he wasn't walking away, and that was the problem. So, no, for real, you know what I'm saying. When you're into somebody who's like, it's a toxic situation,
and they won't let it
you
go.
want them to leave you alone, and they're just not leaving you alone. And you can tell them like, yo, like, I'm done with you, this is it, and they just keep coming back. They keep on.
It's like, if we respond,
of course,
that's what's gonna make them come back.
Of course,
so they feel like you're responding, so clearly you don't want them to leave.
Right. So that song was about, this is what I wanted, because I kind of say that throughout the verses. Like, I was dreaming about vacations and you were dreaming about vacating. Like, you weren't thinking about me, I was thinking more about you, if anything. Like, I was more into you, I was willing to do this and that, but you were just playing around, so you could walk away. That's pretty much how that one came about. So
okay. The last song, your new song out. I don't want to mess up the name. Can I?
Yes. Can I?
Yes.
That one. Well, Can I is a super fun song.
Yeah.
I feel like that one was, when I heard that beat as well, I was like, oh, we gotta do this right now. Like, that was one of those beats where it's like, I get chills and I'm like, I'm already getting ideas and I'm like, okay, I just want to do this. And so when I was writing that one, I was in the studio with my producer and with Eli Hawkins, who also helped out with the song, and we were bouncing back and forth, and it just came about. It was just ideas floating within the room, and then we ended up with Can I, and that song ended up being just a fun song, and then the rapper Nell, if you guys haven't heard of him, definitely check him out. He's really dope. His verse is awesome. Like, he killed it, you know what I'm saying? So he made the song just come together. It was a recipe, so that just flowed perfectly. So that's how that one came.
So what do you want people to take from your music?
I want to be able to impact people through my music. I want to be able to inspire people to, maybe follow their own dreams, maybe, follow their own goals in a way. I want to be able to make people feel with my music. So it's not necessarily like you have to like my song. I just want to impact one person. Oh, that song got me through this. Like, even if one person were to say that to me, I'll be like, oh my God. Because that's how music makes me feel. When I hear like Alicia Keys or when I hear Christina Aguilera, the songs damn near make me cry. And so that's what I want to do for other people. I want it to be really soulful and really real and relatable. And I just want to be able to impact people in that way.
Right, so like, what are some challenges do you face when it comes to being a singer?
I would say there's a lot of challenges. You face like insecurities, and you face different things within your mind, within yourself, because coming into an industry where you're going to be in the spotlight is like, okay, this is like, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Because with everything in life, there's a bad and a good. It's just what it is. There's a negative and a positive. And I personally try to focus more on positivity. I mean, I know going into it, there's gonna be negative obstacles. There's gonna be people who are not gonna like my songs. There's gonna be people who are not gonna like me. But guess what? That's okay. Because you're not obligated to like me. You're not obligated to like my music. So, and when you think about it, it's like, okay, 5 people hate your song. But then there's 5 people who love your song. So who do you concentrate on?
People that love your song.
Exactly. So I feel like going into it, you have to have that mindset where it's like, okay, I can't concentrate on pleasing people who don't even, like you or like your music. It's about pleasing people who you're connecting with actually. The people who are supporting you, the people who are there for you. That's what you should concentrate on. So that's what I'm doing.
So you mentioned that people like the negativity. Like, how do you deal with that when it comes your way?
I feel like, let me think of a time where, there was one time where I was like in a little competition and I didn't win, and like I was feeling really, really down about it, because I felt like at that moment you're like, am I enough? Am I gonna be enough? I'm not as good as this person, so will I even get there? But that's where it's like, okay, I can't compare myself. It's just not about comparing, because there's room for every single person. Literally every single person. Like in any field, being a lawyer, there's a whole bunch of lawyers, there's a whole bunch of doctors, there's a whole bunch of anything. So you just can't just stop yourself just because of that. And that's what I was doing before. I was like, I don't know.
You was like in between. Okay.
I don't know. But at that moment I just relax and I think about what I do have. Okay, who's really supporting me, and just to concentrate on things that I should be grateful for already. You know what I mean? So that helps me a lot.
Okay, so like, what is like your long-term goal and your short-term goal?
I would say short-term goal would be to hopefully have a fan base, like a good fan base that I'm connecting with and engaging with, and people that I can impact. I want to impact people. That's my short-term goal, is to impact as many people as I possibly can. My long-term goal is to hopefully be able to help my own communities and other communities, but in a positive way. I want to be able to give back and help through music, because music is going to be the platform to help me do that. So that's my big goal, is to hopefully have a huge platform where I can just be like, okay, I'm going to help this community, I'm going to do this, I want to do that. That's what I really want to do.
So like, if you could work with any artist out right now, like who would you work with?
Ooh, good question. Okay, there's a few, but the one that I would love to work with is A Boogie.
A Boogie.
Yes, like I would love to work with him, because I love him. I think he's great. He is great. His flow is amazing. Like, first time I heard him, I was like, who is this? I need to work with him, and I will work with him one day. Okay, I'm gonna put it in there. Hopefully one day. But I would love to. As well as Bryson Tiller, J. Cole, Logic. I really like Logic. So those are a few.
What impact do you want your music to have on people?
Definitely a positive one. An impact where people can relate and people can feel what I'm saying. Not just to be somebody that they like, just be a likable artist, but through music more. I want the concentration to be on the music more than anything. I want people to be able to feel like, okay, I can express myself too. You could just be you. So that's what I want.
So let's talk about women empowerment, because I'm really big on women empowerment. Like,
definitely.
What's your thoughts on women empowerment?
Well, I feel like women right now, we are doing the damn thing, okay? Men. I feel like women right now, we are in such a good moment. Like, the times we're in right now, women are so up on their throne. We are taking it. Like, we're not taking anything anymore. If you've noticed, like, there's so many different areas of where women are standing up, and they're not just staying silent. We're not just being taken advantage of anymore. It's just not what it is. And I feel like that's great. I feel like for so many years we've been shadowed. Women have been discriminated against. Women have been just shunned for things that they shouldn't even be shunned for. I mean, these double standards between men and women, and just so many different things that just don't make sense, honestly. Because if men did it and women did it, it's a completely different story.
But it's actually, when in real life, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that, we've been taught that since we were little. Women do this. Women are supposed to do this. Women are supposed to do that. We're not supposed to do anything, actually. You know what I'm saying? We are not supposed to do anything. We're just supposed to live and be women and be free, just like men are free and they can do whatever they want, right? So, I'm definitely all about women empowerment. All about it. I love it. I think we should keep going. This cannot stop. This ride that we're in needs to keep on going.
Like, what are some tips you want to give, or advice you want to give to help other women that's struggling, right, with in any field?
I would say, I want to touch on maybe depression. Just women that are feeling like they're in a box. I feel like there was a point where I was depressed for a little while and I just didn't know what to do. It was almost like life didn't feel like, it didn't feel like I was alive. It just felt like I was just going through anything and I didn't have a goal and I didn't have anything. I didn't have an aspiration. So, what helped me, honestly, was prayer and to really have conversations with myself. I listened to podcasts. I went to church more. I know that sounds so cliche, but it helps, okay? It helps. Seriously, it does. You have to find a place where you're safe and you feel like you can talk, even if that means going to therapy. You have to get help for yourself if you feel like you're in a box and you can't do anything, because then you go crazy and you go insane. So that would be my advice, to seek help, to seek a source that will help you.
What is your perspective on love?
I think love is beautiful. And that's my honest opinion about love. Love is the strongest thing in the world. It's universal. It's just what keeps everything going. From families, from anything, from businesses. You do something because you love it. You do something because you want to do it. So it's for me, love has its pros and its cons, because love is extremely powerful. Extremely. It could even end in horrible situations where, people would literally kill for love. So, which is sad, but that's how strong love is. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. So, but I also feel like in this generation, we're in a generation right now where love is not really the in thing. It's not the in thing to be cuffed. It's not the in thing. Right now it's about hot girls and hot boys and okay. But I feel like that's because everyone's scared. I feel like our generation is scared.
Scared.
Yeah, and we should get out of that fear, because love is so cool. I think it's dope. Even if it ends bad, it's still somebody who's supposed to be in your life. They're there to teach you something. So you should just take on love as it comes, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. So are you in a relationship, or are you dating anyone right now?
I'm just vibing. I'm concentrated on music. And that's my focus right now. I'm really focused on music, focused on the EP, focused on everything going on within myself and self-care and doing all those things. So that's my focus right now.
Okay. What does R&B and soul means to you?
To me, it means talking to somebody without talking to them. So it's language, but it's not verbal language. To me, R&B and soul is touching somebody without touching them. It's like you're impacting them in a way where they could feel something, really feel something. R&B is just all about soul and about, just closing your eyes and you sing it out loud and you cry sometimes. It gives you that grit, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about feeling. R&B is just feeling.
Okay, I see you mentioned the EP. So you're working on an EP?
Yes, I am.
What's the name, if you don't mind me asking?
It's going to be called Hidden Portraits.
Okay, when is it coming out?
So right now we're looking for it to come out in very soon. I can't say the date yet, but it's coming out very, very, very soon. And I'm really, really excited about this because it's my first EP and it's about something real that actually happened to me. So I'm excited to share it with everybody.
Do you have anything else coming up? Any shows? Anything?
Definitely. I have a show November 16th coming up at Wynwood. And I have a few songs coming out before the EP. I have a song coming out with Mikey Moore really dope man, really dope rapper as well. I have a few other features as well coming out. A lot of exciting music. Honestly, a lot of things are gonna be coming out soon. So stay tuned, you guys, because it's coming.
Okay, last question. What is some advice would you give somebody that's getting into the music scene?
I would say make sure you know all the elements that go with the music industry. So I feel like a lot of people go into it not knowing anything about the business aspect of it, only the glamorous part of it, which is not only about the glamour, it's about, okay, how will I be my own boss? You know, because I personally, I want to be an independent. I want to be able to have my team and grow as a team where we have creative control. We have control over everything, honestly. Because as an artist, your one goal is to get signed to a label. I mean, that's the goal. But imagine if you don't have to get signed and you could just be independent. I mean, there's a lot of artists right now who are independent and are very successful. And
would you go independent, or would you like sign with someone? Or you like to do a distribution deal? Because a lot of people prefer distribution over, like, you know.
I feel like I probably prefer that over being signed to a label because, you know, when you're signed, it depends on the deal they give you at the end of the day. It just depends on how much leeway they give you. How much weight are they going to give you to hold? Because they could say, okay, you're not going to have control over this, and that. And then it's a no for me because I want to be able to have that control. And why can't you? You know what I'm saying? When you're independent, it's more work, but it pays off more. So that's how I feel about that.
So you have any last words you want to say? Anything you want to share?
I just wanted to say, you know, I have a lot of music coming out soon, and I want y'all to gear up and get excited with me because I'm excited and I'm super hyped for it. It's gonna be dope. I hope you guys enjoy what's coming. Stay tuned.
Alright, thank you guys for watching The Unknown. Thank you, Lina, for being a part.
Thank you guys for having me. Hey you guys, thank you so much for having me. Everyone out there, please go listen to Can I featuring Nell. Tell me what you think about it. Stream it, dance to it, drink wine to it, be in your car to it, do whatever you want to it, honestly. But thank you again. Thank you, The Unknown. Thank you so much. Definitely watch. It won't be a regretful watch. Does that make sense? Who knows? But you know what? I'm going to keep going. Again, thank you guys so much for having me. Make sure you go stream Can I. Do what you want to it. You can do a little groove to it. And thank you so much. Thank you for watching The Unknown.
I need some time to see if you could keep it real. I never met someone like you in my life. No, you never met someone that you wanna call your wife. We could have been something, but you couldn't get it right.